Okay, let's test the sound. 1, 2, 3, 4. Guys, you can hear me? So if you can hear me, please give me a big hello into the chat. I just need to be sure that the chat is completely working and also the sound before starting the class. Yeah, guys, tell me how you are or how are you more. So I see that some of you were ready in the chat, so welcome to all of you guys. This is not rock music. Oh yeah, I just reading the chat and I see that Hello there says that that his map got more than 900 downloads. So that's very cool. All right, so Hello there is telling me that this working. So now I will be able to change for the webcam. So welcome guys, welcome to the class number 5. Oh, sorry, not number 2. I'm a little bit confused with that. For the winter minicamp, today in my end is 6 a.m. and it's very cold outside, so it's a very cold day. How are you guys? I know that most of you are from a warm part, so how it's in your area? It's doing hot, it's doing kind of cold like this area. Just let me know into the chat. And yeah, let me send in the greeting. So I see that welcome here was from a long time here, so welcome. Hello there. Also, I see that Davon is here. So welcome, Davon, as always, to the class. Welcome, that Pam. Not sure how to pronounce your name because you know it's from Vietnam, but I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Please, welcome, number 2, Jatupong Chamung Gapak. Sorry, guys. To be honest, in Spanish we don't have like very similar sounds, so it's very hard to pronounce some of your names, but I will try my best. If I'm pronouncing wrong, please let me know in the chat how is the pronunciation about your name. And welcome, Puck Leo. Welcome to the class. Welcome, Joki. And yeah, I see your place is too warm. Oh, well. That's something that I don't like too much. I like the warm, but when it's too hot, that even with the air conditioning, you are kind of suffering from hot. I don't like that. Okay, I see that the lights go off, so let me turn on the lights from here a little bit. Oh no, actually I changed the mode to color. Now should be better. Let's put more light on it. And yeah, that's perfect. That's better. So let's start with the class, guys. As always, we are going to have a little or a small session with the specific waiting room. So I'm just moving to the waiting room. And in the waiting room, as always, what I want to show you guys is the different maps. From the previous minicamp, I see really good games, really good maps on this edition. Of course, not too much because there was a little bit difficult, and also there was a lot of errors with the big book about mini work in multiplayer, but now it seems to be resolved in at least in cell phone, so that's not going to affect. So the first map that I want to show you is this one. This one is made by YeyoCore. It's one of the best maps I've ever seen in mini world, and it's very well done. Okay, so I'm going to put the UID into the chat so you will be able to follow him or just check his maps. I really recommend it to do it. And let me try to play this in multiplayer. Of course, I know that some of you or most of you won't be able to join because most of you are in another part of the world with different servers. But let me try with this, okay? Just a minute here. It's loading. And remember, we are just doing the waiting room for some minutes. I have to reduce a little bit the sound because it's too loud for me. All right. So, things that I want you to notice. This is from the last minicamp minigames. Okay. So he adds a different like features. First, you can choose your team from here at the beginning in case you want to be with a specific friend. Second one, this saves your information. So as an example, if you are playing every day, so you only need to talk with him and he's going to claim or give you your daily rewards. Also, every time that you access, you are going to have a new item. You will have a high score here. As you see, I can see my score saved from previous rooms. Once more, guys, if you want to access, okay. So the room is 2769232. True, that's my UID. Let me put it in the chat. Just in case you want to access, I know that most of you won't be able to. And check this, guys. You have like different levels. As an example, for be able to access to this part, you need to play at least one game. Also, to be able to access to the shop and all the other things, you need to be able to play at least one game. And this is saved, okay? So you also can just access to the different areas depending on your level, okay? So that's the first part that I want you to notice. That's the first part. Now I'm going to access to the part in which actually you can play the games, okay? So check this. I just need to enter here. Depending on how many players are playing, you are going to be teleported faster, or you will need to wait for the other players. There is a quick introduction that is much better than the one I made, and it's very clear for the player. It's going to tell you the rules and the minigame that we are going to play. In this case, is a sped run, in which case we need to finish at first the game, okay? Alright, so in every round I need to reach 300 points to be able to win, okay? So let's see how it's going. Alright, so this is the parkour. It's going to change every time that you play. So as an example here, you can see you need to be fast, or otherwise you're going to fall just like me. And every time you play, it's going to change. Okay, first level completed. Okay, well. You know, guys, that I'm not actually quite good on parkour. I'm going to try to do my best, but as always, I'm not the best on this. It's very hard for me. The parkour, I think, is my... No, well, as you see, I'm not very good, and I get too nervous when I'm trying to do it. Okay, just change it. Okay, 1, 2, and yeah, I did it in the end. Well, I won the points, and I will be able to play for the next game. Okay, of course, my information is going to be saved. Now I have a score of 77, and I have played 11 games, okay? So this is a really good game and experience when you are trying to play in multiplayer. Let me put the chat here, so I will be able to just check better the information with you. Oh yeah. Please remind me that I will be able to play your zombie game, because I know that is a really good game. All right, so who else is there on the chat? All right, all right. So as you see, in the game is very good. I love the game, actually. And so it's very nice. Okay. Hi, Kinsey, how are you? I see that you are coming. So I'm going to show you another game, and then we are going to start the class, okay? So once more, oh, I see a player is accessing here, so the player needs to, as we are more than one player right now, the player needs to access here with me to be able to play. And as you see, as soon as the player enters, here you can see the top score. Alright. So that was kind of trick to force the player to access to that area. It's a trick that I use. And let's see how it works now. Next game is Dropper. For Dropper, we need to just fall down, and we need to avoid to be hit or to break into the blocks that are going to appear. So the first one to get down in the bottom of the map is the one that is going to win. It's explaining the rules, as always. And let's it begin. So let's see. Alright, so we are here. We are going to be teleported to Dropper. And we need to jump. Okay. In this case, I wasn't able to make it. You need to just jump into the water. And the other player, it's going to try to do it again. If the player falls, I see that the player just dies. It's going to reborn right here. And of course you have more functions. As an example, you can use different skins. Okay. That's the way that Hughes monetized this. Also, you will be able to buy some things in the developer shop. You will have random loot and you have, of course, an internal store. So it's really enjoyable. I highly recommend it to download it. Okay, that's the only map that we are going to review today. Sorry for the player that is inside the game. I will just close this. And we are going to continue with the class right now, okay? So, now that we already wait a little bit, we are going to start with the class, guys. As always, I need to do this very quickly. It's just to explain how the mini-work works. The Minicamp works for the new players. Okay, so the Minicamp is an event in which you can win some prizes. You can win some different items and some different or real money, cash pricing. And how it works is that you are going to learn with me by around 3 weeks how to do a specific game. In this case, we are doing a winter game. After the 3 weeks, you will be able to participate, to compete with the other players, with your partners, to get the different winners just by participating with the map that you are going to learn how to do. Okay, the dates or the stages are going to be the next that you can see in the screen. It's first we have the learning and creating stage, in which you can just assist to the live class and learn step by step and start creating your map. Guys, good news, you can start creating today your map. So I highly advise you to start with the tips I gave you yesterday. For those that didn't assist yesterday, yesterday we learned the basics about how to create the map, like the areas and the different things that you need to have at first before start creating your map. So I highly advise you to check the last chapter, okay? Then, starting on the 24th of December, you will be able to submit your map, but you are going to have almost 1 week to submit it. On here, you have the different timing to submit your map. Highly advisable, or something that I always tell you guys, is try to submit your map 1 day before the deadline, just in case something happens. You don't know what could happen. As an example, the internet can be down in your area, so it's better to have at least 1 day before this contest ends to be able to submit your map. Then we have the review stage. That's the last one. We are going to get 3 days to review your maps. I'm going to personally score in your maps. Then the team, the internal team from Miniverse, is going to also score your maps, and there is going to be a public votationship, a public scoring. Depending on the results, you can win different prizes. The prizes that you can win are the next. You can get an excellent award with $40 in real money. That's going to be up to 8 persons or 8 people. And this is just for the best map. Then is the best learning award is going to be for $35. That's going to be up to 16 people. That's the second one that has a lot of people. And you can win this just by applying all the things that I'm going to teach you. That's something that you can win very easily. Third one is most creative award is by $35. And it's going to be up to 5 people. It's the hardest to win. And you need to create the map with some innovations, but very important, that innovations needs to be enjoyable, needs to improve the gameplay, and needs to be stable, okay? And finally, we got the best progress award. That's going to be up to 30 people. That's a lot of people for that. It's for $15. It's the one that pay less, but it's going to be dedicated for those that are not developers or just developers level 1. Also, very important with this, guys, for this price, you are going to get a direct invitation to become developer if you are not one. And then we have the shortlisted. This is for all of you guys that create a playable map that works around Christmas, okay, around the winter games. That is going to be the theme for this specific minicamp, okay? Now, another important thing, guys, as always, we are going to have like different prices depending on the views. Of course, we are going to have mini beans, we are going to have skin cards, skins, and skin parts, okay? All right, so what else I can tell you about this? that we got a Discord group. In the Discord group, you can actually talk with me, you can talk with your partners, you can meet people. That is very important, guys, and you can create your own team. So in case you try to search for someone else that can help you out or that you can collaborate to create your map, as an example, you are very good with miniatures and you're looking for a constructor or for a coder, just access here. We have some tools. We have a specific channel for search for the team. And yeah, you can enjoy the English community on there. Also, we have the Spanish community on there, but you will have an option to choose your language, so it's okay. Then, if you are messing up with something, if you're looking for something like the Discord channel or the different tools that we are going to use to create the map, just remember that in the description you can find the tools for any of my videos. So just go and access to the description. You will find all the lists of the things that we use here and a lot of useful things, okay? Also, don't forget to subscribe. If you can subscribe, that will help us out to get to better or to more people and to improve the channel. And also, if you can, please activate the notifications. With that, you won't mess up or you won't lose any of the classes, okay? Objectives for this class, we are not going to do too much. First, we are going to create the game plan, the structure for being able to have a clear idea about what you are going to learn during this class and what are the objectives for creating the map. We are going to set up the rules and we are going to cover the character design as the main focus of this minicamp. I'm going to set it up as a shooter, okay? So I want to teach you how I create my characters, how do I design. You are going to see in real life and the design for a new character, okay? Let's start with the game plan, okay? Okay, so, this is a little bit move up. Sorry for that. Something that I forgot to tell you guys is that the classes are a complete amount of 6 classes. We are in the class number 2 actually, so this is not accurate. This will be better like this. We already covered yesterday the class number 1. This is the class number 2. And in the next class, we are going to cover the winter plugins, the winter game plugins, and the basic game functions, the game triggers, that will help us out to resolve some basic things like, as an example, auto-delete effects and improve the speed of our map, okay? Remember, that's going to be the next week on Fridays and Sundays, and Saturdays, sorry, at 7 p.m. Shanghai time, 6 p.m. On Vietnam time. Oh, Vietnam time, yes. It's Vietnam? Yes, it's Vietnam time. Okay? And remember, we are going to learn for by 6 weeks. On the last week, the week number 4, we are going to have the contest and the awards. So let's start with the game plan now, guys. And let's start with the brief. Guys, remember, this is like the short information that you should have for creating a good map, okay, guys? Before you start creating, before you start experimenting, it's better to have a clear idea what you have to do, what you are going to do. And for this, it's very important to check the screen, okay? Remember, this is something that I advise you to do. You can use your computer, you can use a book or something to take notes of it. But it's information that you can check whenever you are creating something, so you can go back and say, oh, I was doing this by this or by this reason. So let's start with the different things that you need to take note with. First of all, we need to get a project name, okay? So in this case, the name of my game is Snow Brawlers. It's very easy. It's because it's going to be a winter game. First, we need to get a reference that is going to be in winter. And second one, about what we have to do, as this is a shooter in which actually you can use or you have to use snowballs and different things to get into the enemy's base. Well, brawler is a term that can help out, okay? Don't worry, sometimes at the beginning you don't have the final name for your map. So if you don't have a final name, just do the next thing. Take the time and put like a nickname for now, then you can change that later, okay? The map gender for the map that I'm going to teach you to do is a shooter, a first-person shooter, and that's something that you can change. You can do, of course, a different game because in this minicamp, the theme is winter games, so you don't have to do any specific game gender, but I highly advise you to follow the things that I'm going to teach you so you are going to learn better. Next, we got the theme, and it's what is your map about? In this case, and I put a lock on it, it's not negotiable, so it's going to be a winter games, okay? Whatever you do, it needs to be related with winter, it needs to be related with games, and probably will need to be related with Christmas. So don't change that, otherwise probably your map is going to be rejected for this minicamp, because the main theme or the main idea of this minicamp is to create a winter game, okay? Then we got the art style, guys, very important. Remember that the art style is not the only the visual part, it's also the sound, and it's also the story and the concept that goes behind and beyond your map, okay? So the art style, in my case, for the map, for the model map that I'm going to teach you, it's, in my case, Vikings. That's going to be where the map takes place. It's going to be Christmas too. The art is going to be in retro voxel art. Voxel, guys, is the same as a pixel, but is on 3D. So whenever you are trying to do a pixel art in 3D, that means that it's voxel art, not pixel art. Then we are going to go to sports, because the game is a shooter related to sports, and medieval art. And this is going to be reflected once more in the sounds, in the creatures, in the skills text, in the character's name, in the character creation. So very important. Then remember that you need to write your story. That's very important. In my case, I already write it, but it's too big to write it here, to put it into the resume that I'm going to show you. But the story is that the map takes place in a village, and a Viking village is a stadium, and it's a sport that is celebrated in winter, where the different characters that are Vikings, that has the flesh of different gods, Nordic gods, they are going to get a contest to be, or to get the glory of the gods. In the contest or in the sport, and the players have to compete to reach the enemy goal, and they are going to have two different signs. First, they need to construct a shelter, and then they need to be able to enter into the enemy shelter. That's the story behind, the background story about my map. Of course, you need to write yours. That's going to give you a lot of ideas to have better gameplay. I know, as an example, Kenzie is very good writing stories and creating stories. So that it will be it, okay? All right, so for the hello there, I didn't do too much, Taylor. I just showing the different information about the minicamp, okay? Now, let's continue with the target group, guys. Once more, this is very important, because with this you will know what you can design and you can know for your target group. In my case, or let me explain once more what is a target group. The target group is who is going to play your game. Of course, the main idea that you can get is tell, okay, everyone is going to play my game. And that is something that is completely wrong, guys. If you put all the people is going to play my game, probably you are going to get completely lost, because not all the people like the same things, okay? To be generic in marketing or games is going to make your game to be completely forgettable, completely odd. So be specific on this one, okay? So the example that I always put is, imagine that you are trying to create not a game, a song, okay? And the song that you are trying to create, it's going to be a song that is, well, created for rocker people that likes the rock a lot. If you create a song for rocker people that is going to be, I don't know, and you are going to create a song with salsa, with Latin music, probably the rockers are not going to consume it. They don't even going to look for it, okay? So if you want to back rocking people and ask for rocker people to buy your song, you need to create a rock song, okay? That's the main idea. It sounds very easy, but you need to apply that for the game. In my case, as I'm designing the map, I always design the map for you guys. My target group is going to be Minicamp students from America, Asia, and Spain, with intermediate level of map testing creation. I know for sure by metrics that the age that you are with is in between 13 years and 24 years. Okay, that's my target group. You need to change yours. You need to select yours. Then we got something very important that I always advise you to do. Probably you haven't seen it reflected in my map. You cannot see that yet. because this time it was like very fast in between the two minicamps. But for this specific part, guys, for this specific size sorry, not size, item or idea, it's how you are going to get money from your map, real money, okay? So in my case, I going to do a random loot for it. You can have a 60% chances to get an epic loot, 30% chance to get a common loot, and 10% chances to get a normal loot, okay? That's going to be in my situation. You need to check yours, what is going to give you the best way to get money from your maps. I always use a portable store, I always use ads to get that money, and I always use custom skins. That depends of you guys. Remember to take the time to fill this information. You can take a screenshot of it, okay? All right, until the moment you have any questions. I see that Mr. Noob is here, so welcome, Mr. Noob. All right, so, all right, so now, guys, this is going to be the part that you always know. Remember that this most important thing for me, apart from this, that this is going to tell you what you have to do, or is going to be a guide for creating your map. Remember to take the time to think about the differentials. That's why I put this category in a different level, because this is what is going to map your map to be different and to be more enjoyable and to be like not focus. Let's say what that's why your players are going to know this your game, and they are going to know you better. Okay, so it's the differential, guys. I put a light bulb on it because it's the ideas. This is the creative part about your map. First, think in what is going to make your map different from others, what is going to make your map unique. That's the idea, okay? So the differentials here in my map, and this is completely different to yours, you have to think about your map, is first that I'm going to get a character design. You are going to have different classes, probably you are going to have this differential too. You are going to have two different stages, the building and destroyable one, and it's going to have an advanced scripting. That last one depends of you, depends of your skills. Not all the people is going to have the same skills. As an example, you can be very good at creating miniatures, you can be very good at creating the scenario, or you can be very good in creating a story. So this is going to be the differential that depends on you, okay? And very important, guys, remember that this is what also makes your game completely different from others. So from most of the shooters that is only people shooting each other, we are going to have these two things and the classes, okay? That most of the maps in Miniverse are not going to have, okay? All right. So let me see here. Just one moment. I need to check here if the streaming is working fine. You know, sometimes we can get some problems with the streaming. Just 1 second. We are going to... All right. So, now on here, guys, very important. This is the next part. And remember to take the time. This is very important, guys. This is what is going to make your map probably most successful. And remember that every one of the, or every part of the differentials needs to be valuable for your players. And also remember this, if you want to get ideas for your map, for the differentials, or for the innovation, remember that in the class number 2 of the minicamp about about a school simulator, we cover a full class about how to be creative, how to generate ideas, how to innovate in games. So you can check that class and you will get a lot of new information. Now, moving to the final part is the scenario, guys. The scenario are like the technical part of your map. Remember, my map size is 63 by 33 of size. Very important, guys. You can use whatever size you want. but my highly or recommended size is that it needs to be less than 64 by 64. Of course, it's the playable area, not the bullet scenario. It's just where the area where the players are going to interact, okay? And very important, in some games you can create multiple areas, so it doesn't matter if your map is going to be too big, but the important thing is that per a playable part, as I mean per level or per stage, you got max size, which is going to work better for many work. The players that can play my game is going to be 10 players. Probably this is going to be same as you. My characters are going to be Vikings, blessed by Nordic gods, and the win conditions, that is very important, guys. This is very important for me, is enter into the enemy goal to win. The playable time is going to be between 3 to 6 minutes, and it's not going to be limited, so you can extend that time more. And of course, I got another rules as an example. One rule is that once you die, you have to wait 10 minutes, and that's a lot of other things, but they are going to be changeable for your map. Okay, guys? So we already covered the first part of the gameplay, okay? Remember to take note of it. I'm going to take a short time to read you in the chat, okay? So, Mr. Noob is saying, I want to make a Christmas competition with some of my friends. How many pixels must have a thumbnail for your map? So, welcome G4OXI1NG or Gauxing. Can you be a little bit more specific? See, so if you tell me a little bit more about that, I will be able to help you better and I will be able to give you that. I don't understand if you want to make a pixel art for your thumbnail and you need the size of the map of the thumbnail, or you are trying to ask me for another thing. Yes, of course. Once more, the theme for this is Winter Games, and the things that I'm going to teach you, hello there, is just like the basics. You can modify that as much as you want it. Of course, use the information and the things that I'm going to teach you to be able to build better things. But you can modify it with that as an example with 3 different modes, okay? And now let's continue with the class, guys. Okay, so during a relaxing time, remember this, yesterday we covered this part completely on detail. I mean, it's how you can create your map. But in general, an overview about our game plan is how our map is going to be located and built, okay? So what you see on here is the playable area, okay? The playable area is apart from the initial setup area, which you have a lobby and you have a shopping area, okay? The lobby, you know already for what it is. It's just for having enough time to wait for the other players to join. The shopping area is where the players can get some items before the game starts. And the playable area is where your players are going to start. Once more, the playable area needs to be less than 64 by 64 by my recommendation. Of course, you can modify that. But after many minicamps and game designers, we find out that that is the best size that you can use to create your maps. It's going to be more fast and more efficient, and it's going to also avoid a lot of bugs. Okay, guys? And going in detail in our map, let me just change this a little bit here. Okay, so now you will be able to see all the parts. So this is how the map is designed, guys. As you see, we have 2 different sides. We have a red team on the left and our blue team on the right, okay? But the area is the same. It's like a flip it. It's like a mirror. And we have like different areas. First, we got in white the neutral area, or in gray. That is where the players can fight together. Okay, this area, I got it covered by ice. That's the main thing. It doesn't matter how you design this part, the gray part that you can see here as a neutral area. It's up to you, okay? It's the part that you can modify as you want it, okay? And this is not going to belong to any player. It's just a neutral area where the player can fight on the combat stage. Then we got the base area, okay? It's where the players can build the actual shelter, the actual snow shelter, guys, okay? And very important, this is the area I put, that's why I put a hammer in here. It's the only area where the players can build things. So they can put walls on here, they can put doors on here, you know, because the game has two stages. They build in a stage and they fight in a stage. Then we got the team spawn. That means that when a player dies or when a player is teleported to the game, is going to be teleported to a random location inside any of those areas. Of course, this is going to be just for red team and this is going to be for blue team. Okay? Once more, this is an area that is not buildable. The only area that you can build with is the team base that is going to be here. Then we got this specific area that is the purple one, that is the goal. Remember that the target of the team is to enter into the enemy goal, okay? But in the building stage, they won't be able to exit from the area. When the game is in combat stage, they will be able to try to access to the enemy fortress and enter here to capture the fortress, okay? Once more, there is not playable areas that are the areas that are going to be only touched by the player at the beginning, okay? That's how our map is going to work. Let me come back to the screen. So that's how our map is going to work in about the construction. Remember yesterday, we learned all the details about how to construct this. We learned the basics. So if you missed that part, just check the yesterday class, okay? And if you cannot find it tomorrow, I will submit the tomorrow, and in between tomorrow and the next day, I will submit the resumes for that, okay? All right. All right. So for G4, okay, galaxing, I think I pronounced it right. For galaxing, if you mean in the Photoshop part, the sites for be able to create the thumbnail, okay, don't do it in Photoshop. Okay, of course you can use Photoshop. What you have to do is you have to do the normal thumbnail. Just left click on it and open with Paint, okay? And what you have to do is to copy and paste with the same sites, because if you change the sites a little bit and if you even export direct from Photoshop, it's not working. I already tried that. It is giving me errors, okay? Yes, you can do as much game modes as you wanted. All right, so now let's move to the next part, and it's going to be the game stage, guys. Okay, so stage is like a time that you are going to have some specific task inside the game, okay? All right, so the first task that we always place, and this is made more for get some money from your games, is the shopping stage, okay? What you are going to be able to do in shopping stage? The only thing that you can do is buying things. Of course, this is not implemented yet in my game, but we are going to implement it. How much is going to last? I highly advise you not to get more than 1 minute, because if you do more than 1 minute, it's going to be boring for the players, okay? Very important, remember as always, as every frame that we made on triggers, the stage is going to have an ID. The ID for the building stage is 0. The ID for the for the shopping stage is 0. For the building stage is 1. And for the combat stage, the ID is the number 2. What are going to be the rules for the shoppings? You cannot build, you don't have any object, you cannot kill, and the store is going to be available for you to buy items before the game starts, okay? Now, that is going to be the first thing that you need to take in control. Remember that this is going to be the controller, the brain of our game. The second stage is going to be the building stage. How much is going to last? 1 minute and 30 seconds, or 1 minute, depending on your game. Don't do more because the players are going to be a little bit messed up. And what are going to be the rules in this stage? First, the players can build up objects, or let's be more specific, walls. They can build the walls inside the game, but the players cannot kill, cannot receive damage, they cannot reload the guns, and most important, they cannot exit from the base. That means that in this stage, if the player tries to exit from the room, from wherever where they are located, they are not going to be able to, okay? That's very important, guys. Now, the inventory that you can use for this one is going to have the basic construction blocks, is going to have an item to upgrade the blocks and an item to downgrade the blocks, okay? Once more, that's going to be the second stage after the 1 minute and 30 seconds end. We are going to have the combat stage, the last stage. The rules for this one is you are going to have the objects, the items that you class, the class that you choose with is going to have the damage, it's going to be activated, you can kill other players and you can exit from the base. Another important thing is that you can reload your guns. In my case, it's a snowball fighter, so you can reload the snowballs. And most important, in this one, you cannot exit the playable area. That means that if you get kicked out or pushed out of the game playable area, you are going to die. And you cannot build, okay? In this stage, you cannot place blocks. Now, for your inventory, your character is going to have a main weapon, an active skills, the snowballs, and the passive skill. And this is going to last as long as you want it. It depends. As soon as the player enters to the enemy gold, this is going to be end, okay? So taking a deeper look, and this is very important, it's how our menu or our inventory is going to be composed. Okay, remember in MiniWorld, your inventory is going to be kind of the main menu that you can use to play. So in the stage 0, we are not going to have more items, more important items. In my case, I always place this for the monetization, that is going to be the coins, the item that the players use to buy things. The store, remember that I always place a portable store where the player can actually access to the internal store, and the dev store that you can access from the menu. And this is going to be repeated on the different stage. For the building stage, on the first and the second inventory slot, you are going to have the block level 0, that means the basic block to build, the upgrade icon or item, and the downgrade item, okay? And you are not going to have any kind of buff. Then when we go to the combat stage, we are going to have the weapon, we are going to have a skill, an active skill, and we are going to have snowballs to be able to attack the enemy, and our passive skill is going to be activated, okay? All right. So, welcome, good man gamers. Now, guys, this part is important. It's very important that you understand the different building stages, okay? If you have questions up to the moment to the stages, I think it's clear, but if you get more ideas or you need an explanation, a clearer explanation or a better details about something, just let me know here into the chat. Now, okay, I'm going to delete this. This is not important here. Okay, guys, so on this part, we already covered what we are going to do. We are going to actually create the different items that we will need to set up this, okay? As you see, we got a clear idea about how our map is going to look, what ideas we are going to take. So I'm going to give you the first code. If your screen is not working fine, probably you need to refresh, okay? And probably you are not hearing this. Okay. Yes, for hello there, we can start today. Remember that, yeah, you can start creating your map right now, okay? And remember that we already got the tips also for creating a map, so don't worry for that. I need you to try the test at the code, guys. I'm going to switch to MiniWorld and I'm going to claim the code, okay? So once more, to claim the code, you just access here, expand this section, click on this one, go to events, go to activation code, and just put your code on. After some seconds, you should receive your code. Once more, it's working. If yours is not working, you need to close MiniWorld and try again, or try to claim inside a map, okay? Access to a map and try to claim your code on there, okay? Yeah, and that's what I like most. Remember that I'm going to teach you the basics about how to create the weapons, how to create the skills, how to create the different things. The idea is that you don't create the same things that I create. Try to do a different classes, at different guns, with the tools that I'm going to provide you. Okay? I see. Very good. Now it's working. Oh, that's nice, Mr. Noob. So right now you are a monster hunter. I didn't get that. Oh, the one that I like to want more is the boss slayer, but I never played too much. I actually don't play survival or yeah or even extreme mode because guys, I'm very veteran player, so I already get bored of the normal mini world game style that is the survival. So I only play custom games now. Oh, very good. The diamond patch. That's very cool. All right, guys. So if you want to comment some ideas about the different weapons and skills and things that you have for your or even your characters, just let me know here. Okay. Now we got something important that we are going to do. Let me delete this. This is a slide that is not going to work. And it's going to be the rules, guys, okay? As always, we set up this. The, the rules are going to be the next ones. Just access to the map, guys. How to backstab. That's actually a very good skill, but it's a skill that I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't tried it. But the backstab skill is something that I made with triggers, with skill, with the scripts, because in triggers, I don't know if you can get at the back of the player. And it will be very difficult as it's not easy to edit. It's more a math related thing. But I will try. I'm not sure if I can show you that, guys, because I once more is only be able to make most of the times with scripts, or at least I made it with the scripts, okay? So let's move to the presentation and find an Eiffel. Stop. Uh-huh. All right, so once more, guys, this is the game plan. So once more, I here have my lobby, which is where the players appear. The playable area that you check already is the same thing that I showed you before. And the building or the shopping area, okay? Once more, the neutral area, the player base, the spawn area, and the goals here. So as you see, the map is not that complicated about how to construct, but we are going to start setting up the rules, okay? So to set up rules, guys, once more, you go to access to developer tools here, and you are going to change the first thing, that is the word setting. So be sure that you put a fixed timer in it. And what you are going to do is just to change the skybox, okay? So if you change this, your sky is going to change once more. As an example, you can get a different look of the sky with this. As you see, it's going to have a different look. Once more, I always mention some 3 examples. So as an example, this can be a post-apocalyptic sky or zone. If you play on nighttime, this probably could be a space or a special game or a mystic game. And if you play midnight time or just noon, it looks more like a medieval game, okay? Of course, as I am playing in winter, I highly advise you to get a colder look like this one. In winter, remember the area is white and the sky is blue and the sun is very big. Okay, so just play around with it. Just try to fit what is much better for your game. As an example, this is not going to look good for my game in this case. And remember, you will need an extra illumination system depending of the setup that you place. Okay, this is what is going to look better for me. It looks like a winter. And also remember, if you need to place some specific illumination, remember that we covered that in a class. We covered in the class about horror game or escape game, and we get in the second class and the third class and a specific illumination system. So if you play at nighttime here, you will be able to place illumination around some specific areas, okay? Now that you get this, remember with the weather, you can change different things. As an example, you can have a more like a fightable look or different look with rain, also with thunders and all the other things, but I highly advise you to get it in sunny because the lag that you can produce with rainy is kind of difficult. And also let me show you another thing, guys. Depending of how you construct your map, as an example, if you place your map in a specific height, you will be able to do some cool things like, let me show you a map. It's right here, this one. Like this, you are going to see that in the actual map, in the one that I'm going to show you, it's falling snow. Okay, check this. How you can get that snow falling, okay? Just 1 second. It's loading. It's taking a little bit of time, guys. Okay, so if you check here, the water is in rainy, and it gives me this specific effect that looks like snow. And the way it works is actually by the height, okay, guys? So I'm at in altitude 81, that is considered by the game very high, so that's why I get this specific altitude with this specific cool effect that looks like I were in snow, okay? And also you need to have a snowy place to be able to create that effect about some snow falling, okay? Now let's move back to the game, to the one that we are learning how to create. I just wanted to show you that trick because I think it could be important as we are doing a winter game. I didn't realize that I didn't realize that I can do that in that moment when I create the map, so that's why I don't have that, but I would love to have that one, but I forgot completely about that on that time, okay? Now, once more, I highly advise you to get it in sunny. It's going to be faster. Monster spawn is going to be completely off, guys. Gravity, remember you can place a different gravity. I always keep it on mine, depending on the game, on 7 or 8. On this one, as we don't want the players to move by the walls very quick, I'm just going to place it in 1. I turn off the damage switch for this one. We don't want the players to receive damage by falling. And the machinery here, it's going to be completely off. Why, guys? Because remember that in this game, we are not going to use cars. So we don't need that, okay? Now, the map rules are going to be very important, guys. Once more, I always advise you to get the start introduction very easy, okay? So for the start introduction, just put simple descriptions. Once more, remember you can activate this to be able to show that. The first one is going to be the screenshot. I'm going to update as the art style for the map change. Okay. So let's do this. I'm going to move to the area that I want to take the screenshot with. And is going to be this area. I'm going to put my character here. And then I'm going to retake this, okay? As an example, you see that your introduction is going to change. Okay? And put a simple description, guys. Be sure that you reduce the description a lot. Don't use too much text here because the players doesn't like to read too much in main word, okay? So build your stronghold defenses 2 minutes. There is something very short. You don't have to read too much, okay? That's the first instruction. Remember, in this, less is more. If you put a short text, it's going to be better for your game. The second one says, it shows a score area and says enter to the enemy score net to get a goal, to get a point. And the third one is telling me that the first team with 2 points win. So before it was like two different rounds. For now, I only put one, so that can be deleted for now. And that's it, okay? So in options, you are going to put host opens join gaming process on because, well, if you don't put this, probably the players are going to be stuck. Remember that we got a lot of newbie players that just access to the map and they just exit on that specific moment. So probably when you start the game and players start to exit, that's going to be a little bit boring for the players. So I always, and this is for all maps, advise you to design your map to have this option available, okay? Counting, it's going to be 3 seconds. You can place wherever music you want it. Of course, you can place also no music. Background music, no, and minimum amount of players, keep it in 2, so the player only will be able to start the game in multiplayer when they have more than 2 players. Now let's move to counting or to game target. Limited time needs to be completely off. Scores on player defeat, put everything in 0. Reach goal to win, put it in 1. Turn based needs to be off. Polluted area settings off. Reset the map when we quit the mode. This is very important, guys. Put it in reset map because if you put this one, do not reset the map. The second options, if you destroy something in your map, it is going to be all permanent. That means that if you exit from your map and exit again, and this is activated, that part it will still destroy it, okay? And saves player data, it needs to be off. Now for team settings, you are going to uncheck no team. You are going to check team 1 and team 2. Just change the name for it. In my case, Ragnar team is going to be the team number red. Remember, once more, the information that I place in here is the information related with the creative part. So in the beginning, guys, we learn that we are going to have like a picking concept, a Viking concept here. So Ragnar team is, Ragnar is the name of a Viking, okay? Permission settings off, initial attribute off, initial items off, and initial appearance off. Just do the same for the second one. I put Loki team. Of course, I'm going to change this for Loki team. Okay, the team color is going to be blue. Same setups, no setups at all, just the name. Of course, I changed the players to at max 5 players. Remember that the max amount in our team is going to be team players. Okay, so that's very important, guys. Okay? Alright, let me read you the chat very quickly. Okay. So, welcome Tuan, how are you? Welcome to the class. Now, for player settings, guys, check this. We got all the information here. But most important, guys, everything needs to be turned on, except this, guys. And please, if I see that any of you have this activated, I will give you less points in the final qualifications, guys. Mount operation needs to be off, so the players won't be able to summon a mount. As always, I explain this. Guys, if you put this, probably your players are going to do a lot of cheat, okay? They can exit from the map. Also, this needs to be off. 10 mode needs to be activated. For the respawn settings, you need to put a revival interval of 10 seconds. Please put it on respawn manually. Revival protection 5, respawn at random point, and very important, I think the most important things here, it's to keep the items on the player, okay? I just switched this to respawn automatically, it's going to be better. And the time, okay? The time, give 10 seconds, because with that, if a player gets killed, you can have a time for the team to try to get closer to the goal, okay? Those two are going to be very important for the gameplay. The give items and the 10 seconds. Now, number of lives, just limit it, just put off. In display settings, put different teams visible. On options, put the name display only visible to the team. Let's put better visible to all, it doesn't matter. Put don't show damage, because we don't need that actually, or well, you can use whatever here, wherever you want to put. Display settings needs to be health bar off, crosshair put it on activated, and all the other things desactivated. Version settings put default camera, and in initial state you can put whatever you want it. As an example, you can have the same options that I got here. The only important thing is that we are going to create an item, okay? So that item will allow us to choose our classes, that will allow us to choose whatever class we are going to use, and put your store and whatever that are going to be permanent items on here, okay, on initial items. This is the inventory and this is the bag. Okay, so this item will allow us to choose the class, so that's very important. In initial appearance, completely off, and experience mode, it's going to be completely off, okay guys? And with this, we finished the second part of our classes. And what happened when we finish a part of our classes? We receive a code, okay? So the next code is going to be for skin cards. I'm going to put it into the chat right down below. Okay. An axolot skin. Oh, that sounds good. And welcome, Basis Soriano. Welcome to the class. All right, so that's perfect. So Kenzie is asking me how to make the click a block on, and will open the crafting table, or also the item that I use for my hands, okay? And I think we are going to learn that tomorrow, Ken. And what we do is to use a script. It's an easy setup script, okay? That's one of the easiest one to set up. What you have to do is just access to the website. Remember that we got a website in the description for our scripts, for all the scripts that we are going to use. Guys, also remember the code is already pasted in the chat. So once you enter to the YeyoScripts section, remember that this, once more, is always in the description of the video. Okay, you have to access here to basics. And you have an option here that says open store item or store block, okay? And you need to copy that script. At the beginning, you are going to have these options. The first one is to open store item, okay? The second one is going to be open store mode. And you have like different options. Also, you can set up an open store item dev store from here without having to do more work. Tomorrow, we are going to cover this a little bit more, but you can try to experiment with this now. By the way, while we wait for that, let me claim the code right here. To claim the code inside the game, just put on that code, and right here you will be able to find the code claiming, okay? Once more, I already claimed this, so I won't be able to use it, but you're supposed to be able to do it, okay? Now, another thing, I'm not sure if with the scripts you can open that store. Let me try to check on here very quickly, can't see. But I think with triggers you cannot open the dev store, okay? But let me check. Probably you will be, but I'm not using this too much. So directly from the items we don't have that option. But let me check directly in scripts, in the global scripts, to see if we got that option here. And of course, you will have a look for how this map is composed. All right, so let's see the actions here. Developer. Okay, no. You don't have that option. That option is going to be only available by scripts, can see, okay? So that's very important. Okay, so Um, Gunman Gamers, the mini-beans code already has been sent it. Okay, so check in the previous part of the video. All right, guys, so you already claimed the code, right? Let me know into the chat. I see that you were talking about something. Red light, blue light. That's correct. I realized that very late, or too late. It's actually red light and green light. But I don't know why I put red light and green light. That's something that I completely forgot. You know, sometimes I automated the things and I don't think too much about it, and then I realize the errors I made, okay? All right. So, now that we already got the code, we are going to enter into the character design row, okay? All right, so let's start with those cool things that we can play for this game, okay? So I'm going to move to this area and I'm going to show you three different things, the three different characters that we get on this map. The first one, the second one, and the third one. So the first one, the first character I designed for this is going to be the Viking. Okay, it doesn't allow me to open this. Okay, so I think I need the other one, the one that looks like a person. Let me check. I think I will be able to. Yes. So that's the first character. The second character is going to be Ella. And the third character, the last one, it's going to be Loki. And of course there is a sub-character here that is going to be the gold, okay? The boulder, actually. Okay, so guys, for the game, I create different characters, okay guys? And our character is going to be only related with character design. This is going to be easy, guys. Don't worry about that. And it's first, how do I create these characters, okay? So, those are going to be the three main characters. This is going to be YeyoCore, that Ella can summon, okay? But this is going to be the design for every one of the characters, okay? So here you have the first one, that is going to be the defender, okay? The defender class, it's going to have a specific model, all right? Then we got Ella, that is going to be the fielder class design, or the fielder class model. That is actually not more related like defense or attack, it's more like a balanced character, okay? And the third one that we get is this one, that is going to be Loki. That's the name that I give it, but actually in game you are going to see it as a striker, and it's going to be a fast character, okay? So first I'm going to teach you how I design those, and then we are going to design a new class, okay? So, and well, of course, finally, then we got the boulder. Boulder is just a mob that can be summoned, but of course, you can see it in game, okay? So let's start with Thor, or the actual defense player, okay? Oh, that's very cool. Okay, Basti, if you can, but you mean from my web or directly from the game, okay? All right, so let's start with this one, okay? So before creating the visual part of your map, you are going to have this specific information, and take a look at it or take a screenshot for it. With this a specific page, you will be able to create and be very creative with your characters. So to create a character, and before creating your map, we need to define first different things, okay? So before starting with this, we are going to delete this, and we need to define, before starting creating the character, how is your game style game, okay? So I'm going to show you some quick examples here, guys. The first example is the different classes, okay? So when you are creating a character, before creating the character, you need to define the rules of your game, okay? As an example, depending on your shooter, you can have different ways to create classes, okay? So let me show you a quick idea or a quick way to create the classes, okay? So the first example is bunkers. In bunkers, you will be able to choose your class, and it's going to be very similar to this one. So it's like you have in heroes. Every hero is going to have different skills. But remember, this is going to be related with your game style, okay? So if, as an example, in your shooter, you have a game style like this one, you need to be very careful. So in this game, you will have a system that is based on attackers, defenders, or supporters, okay? And depending on that, you are going to have like different items. On here, you choose a kit, a complete kit. That means that if you select any of the players, you will have a full set of items, okay? So as an example, on here, we got an attacker that says that is a scout. And a basic description is a flanker hero with high agility and a melee weapon. We have another attacker that is the pyro that has its attack class 2 and has high damage and is slow and heavy, okay? As you see, we have like different ways and different roles for the players. We have a defender that is a sniper, that is a long range character and has high damage but is not too much agile. We have the engineer that builds defensive structures and controls the zone. And as an example, as a supporter, we have the medic that heals the other players. Or as an example, we have the builder that creates builds scenarios and also slow down the enemies. If I choose any of them, I will be automatically have like the different items created, okay? So in this game, the main target is to capture an area. So that's going to be related with it. The attackers will be able to take the area, the defenders will be able to control the area, and the supporters will be able to bring support, okay? So as you see, all the items have been added. As an example, in here, I have my main gun, a second skill, and my skill that allows me to fly for a little bit, okay? Let me show you. And that will change, of course. Let me... Okay, so as you see, the character is like having different features, okay? That's the first system. It's in a specific class, like the one we got in the game. Another system that I create for the shooter for selecting the class is, and those are just examples, guys. I need you to check those examples. Is the power load one, okay? In power load, you don't have like specific stats depending on your class. Instead of that, you have an items stat. So you will have always a main weapon, an attack item, a defense item, and movement item, okay? But also you can choose a specific class, okay? But instead of the other game that you have a specific set of items, what you are going to do with selecting a specific class here is to have more items for a specific kind. As an example, if you choose assassin, you will have 2 items of attack and 1 of movement, and you are not going to have defense at all. If you choose heavy, you are going to have 2 items of attack and 1 of defense and no movement item. And also, as an example, if you choose flank, you are going to have 2 movement skills and 1 attack, but no defense. So let me show you. I got the same menu right here, or let me use the same menu right here. As an example, I select Assassin, okay? On here you can see the stats, more attack, medium defense, and movement, and no defense. If I got it, all right, it's here on the pack. What it's going to change is the setup for my items. Now I have a main gun, 2 items of attack, and 1 defense. Of course, you can use those to buy items here. As you see, every item is going to ask you for a different skill or different thing. Or you can use random by just clicking on the bottom, okay? That's another way that you can set up the classes for a shooter. The third example that I'm going to put you is this one. And I'm going to show you 4 examples only, that is wizards. In wizards, what you are going to get is like different elements, okay? So your character it can access to all the items, but the starting kit is going to depend of what class you select. So at the beginning, it's going to ask you if you want to be a wind bender, if you want to be an earth bender, a fire bender, or a water bender. And depending on that, your character is going to have like different items, but also is going to have better access to the initial items, okay? So things that change. The player is going to have a different guard that has a passive skill. It's going to have a different ultimate, a different passive, but you can get all the other items right here. So you can still access to the water skills and all the other things, but the starting kit is going to be different, okay? That's another example. And the final example that you can define for your shooter map will be like this. It is actually the most complicated one, and is that the players doesn't have a specific class. What they will be able to do is to switch the classes, okay? As an example, on this one, the class depends of what you get at the beginning, but every time that you entered in a robot, you will have like different skills. So whenever you are tired from a robot like this, as an example, okay, so as an example, I get bored of this robot and the different skills it has. So I just get down of the robot and I enter to other, and the robot is going to have like different skills. Okay, bad idea to do what I did. Okay, I don't know why I did that. Okay, yeah. It's because the spider can climb walls. Like this. Alright, no, I don't remember how to do it. Okay, so let's try it once more. Alright, and every time that you change the robot, you are going to have like different skills. Okay? That's the difficult one, the most difficult one to create, but as you see are different ways to create, like the different ways that you can choose to create a different class system for your game. Remember that having a normal shooter is kind of cool, but having like different classes is going to give it a deeper strategy to your game. So as you see now I have different skills and different item set, and that just depends of my robot, okay? So now that you know the basics, we are going to create a specific set for our game, okay? So before filling the character page, we already defined something, okay? And let's move back. We defined that our characters are going to have a lot of things. First, they are going to have a main weapon, okay? They are going to have a skill, and they are going to have a passive skill, okay? That's how our characters are going to work for this shooter. Remember that you can define whatever of the previous examples, you can do it, guys. But it's very important to start on there, okay? So define that. I already defined it here. So first, our characters are going to have a status or a stat that is going to be the speed. They are going to have different life. They are going to have a different weapons. When they are going to have an active skill, let me be more clear here. Active skill means something that you can use in your inventory, okay? They are going to have a passive skill is something that you cannot use, but it's going to have like a passive skill for them, like something that you don't use actively, but as an example, they are going to have 30% damage or something else. They are going to have a specific amount of ammo and a specific amount of damage. Of course, you can add or reduce more stats. That's going to make your characters be a little bit different, okay? So moving to the game that we are creating right now, I will move back to it and I'm going to show you a review back of the characters, okay? So we are going to start with the character that is going to be Thor, okay? So that is going to be this one. All right, so once more, if you are in buying time, no items on here. On here we have like the items to build this scenario, okay? And the upgrade item that allows us to upgrade the blocks and make it stronger, or the downgrade that will allow us to recover some blocks and reduce the level of the blocks, okay? That's for now. We are going to start with this character, okay? So I'm going to duplicate this and let's start with the staging ideas. My character name, the defensive one, is Keeper because this is an sport, okay? So the Keeper is going to try to protect the area, the defensive area, with some skills, okay? So remember, in my game, if you enter to the enemy goal, you won a point and you won the game. The role is going to be defensive, okay? And it depends on your map. As an example, in this map, I based my map too much in soccer, but you can have a different shooter. As an example, in your map, the main role is to destroy, I don't know, to kill more mobs. And so a role could be killer, another role will be healer, and another role will be, I don't know. You can choose whatever you want it, okay? On here we have 3 different roles, okay? Defensive, medium, and attacker, okay? Alright, so for this one I put this specific one that is going to be the defensive role, okay? Now, on game you will see already the different items, okay? So you have to design your skills according to your character. So if I got a character that needs to defend this area, of course I'm not interested that this character is going to be a long range. So this character is not going to have like too much power throwing snowballs. As you see, the character only can throw snowballs very close. It cannot reach the enemy stronghold because we don't need that. We need this character to defend, okay? This character, as is going to be a defensive character, has a melee weapon that can use to push players. So if a player is coming here and I give it a hit, the player is going to be pushed. The idea is to avoid the players to enter here. Also, the second skill is going to be related with defense. It's going to be the shield. The shield, what it's going to do is it's going to deflect. That means if someone shoots me a snowball, while I have this shield, it's going to deflect that snowball. And also it's going to push the players away. So if a player tries to get close to me, when I have the skill activated, that is the active skill, the player is also going to be pushed away. Okay, let me see if I can test. Okay, no, I didn't put a dummy on it, okay? So that's going to be the 3 skills for the player, for this character. Now let me show you in the paper. So the theme for this, or what is the idea, let's put it on that way, about this character. This character is a Viking. Course, because all the characters is Vikings, but this is a character that is going to be big, corpulent, because it's a defensive player. So guys, try to match your character with the skills. As an example, if you have a character that is going to be very strong, try to put something that makes the visual part to be the character a little bit strong. Okay, big, corpulent, and very important, I base my characters in Nordic goods, so this is going to be related with Thor. Thor was the good that has the Mjolnir, and you probably know already a lot of things of Thor by Marvel, but this is a Nordic good in the real history, okay? And is going to have a thunder idea, okay? Now the art style that I'm going to use is pixel or voxel art, and for this I advise you to get some specific images from the internet that you can use just to check this. So let me use my internet here. I'm going to show you what I did, okay? So whenever I want to create the art for a character, I start by sketching, but also I start by looking for references, okay? So I highly advise you to get Pinterest here. Pinterest is a website that allows you to get some images about what you like and what you design. All right, not even with games, you can find a lot of things here, but you can check some art style here. So you can start by looking by Vikings as an example. And in here you can get some references that you can take. As an example, the runes that I would like to improve. As you see, the skills that this character has are related with runes, okay? So I just create this one that is the actual running game and different gems for every skill, okay? So that's very important for the active skills. I use those runes. So that's something I take from Pinterest, okay? And Pinterest has a good availability. If you hit on here on save, you can choose like kind of artwork. So as an example, I'm going to create one that says Pixel Vikings, okay? Snowball, okay? And you also can make your board like how do you call it? Secret one, okay? So you can save here all the things that you wanted. As an example, I can copy a look from Dark Ragnar from these areas. So I just click on here and I select the where I want to save that collection, okay? So as an example, I get a lot of ideas from here. As you see, the Vikings used to have like a beard. In real life, the Vikings doesn't have horns in their helmets, but I know that is very common, that misconception, and I love it for games, okay? As an example, if I want to be more specific, I can put just Pixels Viking, and I can get more ideas about how to create a Viking game, okay? Once you got your ideas, hey, you can access to your different folders right here. You have a lot of options here, as an example, and you can look for yours. Most of the times it's going to be the end, and all the things that you save are going to be here. So I get some inspirations for that. As an example, you can get some looks here. Once more, let me put those here. Let's looking for Thor for these specific characters. Hello, Jockey, how are you? Okay, and as you see, all right, we got to most of the images related with Thor from Marvel, but we are going to get more related mythology. So we are going to be able to get more ideas. So as you see, Thor is very similar in all the ideas. He's a strong character that has long hair, and yeah, he's strong, okay? So as an example, you get those ideas, always have a hammer. So all that images, you can just save it and put it in your artboard for your character, okay? So as an example, I like this one. So what I like from this one is the size of the body or the rope or whatever you got it, okay? So you can put that on here. You can do that or in your specific folder. When you got a lot of images, you can use a lot of things, okay? So for that art style, I'm going to move back to here. Miniword was a little bit bugged here. And I'm going to explain how I designed the character, okay? So for Thor, first, if you check the body of the different players, you see that Thor is the biggest, and as you see, it's also the only one that has beard, okay? First, I start with a design that looks a little bit bigger because, you know, it's the defensive player, needs to be a little bit stronger. Also, there was a fun part that I put it on, and I want to make a fatty character because this is a cartoon game. So if you realize, Thor is not only big, it's also, it has a belly on it, and it is covered, that part. That was like an actual funny part that I want to put it on the character. As this character is a Nordic character, I put it on the red head hair, and also I put it blue eyes, okay? Very important, guys. For the art style, I put a different colors for each one of the characters. So once we got all the reference here, put the story. So in my case, the story about Thor is actually, he's not Thor, he's a normal player, but he has been blessed by Thor, so he has some skills related with thunders and things like that, okay? Once more, this is the keeper, and something that I use, and I always use in my games, is use a specific color for each class, okay? So check this, for Thor, I use blue color, okay? And I'm going to let you know, or light blue. Of course, this is more like indigo color, or I forgot how to call it, but it's kind of light blue color, okay? And I'm going to tell you why. Because it's thunder related, so the thunder is light blue, and also because in game all the skills are going to be related around that color. So once more, let me start this, okay? So as you see, I can use the blue here. You always have like a direct idea, and when the game starts, okay, let's wait a little bit. But when the game starts, all the skills, all the UE are going to be related with blue and gray, because that's the colors that I use for Thor. And I want to show you also this, the skills, the effects that you are going to have for every skill is also going to be blue, okay? And let me show you that. Of course, we have to wait a little bit. In between, while we wait for that, let me show you here. So, as this is going to be a defensive player, we are going to have less speed. So in the different games, Thor is going to be the slower one, is the one that is more like heavy, so it's going to be slower in comparison of the other players, okay? So the first statistic that I use is the speed, okay? So most of the players are going to start with 10 of speed by Miniword. Mine is going to be 8, so it's going to be slower. As this is a defensive player, is the one that is going to have more life. As you see here, the player has 25% more of life. Remember that Miniword's life is 100, okay? The weapon is going to be a melee weapon that you can use also for attack, but once more, it's not going to have too much range and it's going to be slow. So the main idea of this is that if you are going to create a defensive character, the defensive character is not in the other side of the map trying to enter to the room, because, well, that's another role. So as you see, once more, blue color, okay? If you look outside, the particles around the player are also in blue. Remember that every player, I put a particle on it. And if you see, you are going to see small particles flying around Thor, and as you see, are blue, just as the other aspects, okay? So remember, the color is blue, okay? And also, if I use the skills are going to be blue. So all the things are going to be always related with the color of the class, okay? Now, active skill is going to be a shield, in my case, and it's going to be a shield that deflects or reflects bullets and pliers, okay? As you see, everything is related with defense, okay? Because we are going to create a defensive role here, okay? Once more, the second skill of the hammer is to deflect bullets. So if you press shortly the hammer, the hammer is going to deflect any bullet that goes to the player, okay? Another cool thing about this is the passive skill, okay? So in my case, we got one item, two items, the ammo or the snowballs that you use to attack, but also here you have a passive skill. For Thor, the skill is going to be corpulent, that gives us collision knockback. That means that if I collide with a player like this, the player is going to be thrown away to another part of the map, okay? So if you see, it's a passive skill that is related with defense. So if a player is coming around here, well, I just try to intersect the player and push it away to take that player out of the game room. So in this case, it's going to be corpulent. And another part of the passive skill here is that it's going to increase the melee knockback. That means that every time that I click on the player is going to be pushed 3 blocks away, okay? Now, for the ammo, it's something only related to my game. This player can collect up to 8 balls, okay? It's the player that has more ammo, but also is the player that throws slower the ammo that is going to be the snowballs, okay? So check this, I'm going to just use all the ammos here. So I wouldn't have like more snowballs, okay? So remember that in the map, you only can recharge or you can only reload your guns if you are in the snow, okay guys? So check this, if I move around the snow, I can get up to 8 balls, okay? So that's going to be only the amount of ammo, and the damage that the Thor does is actually not the best, okay? Because this player is once more a defensive player, the damage that he can does is the next one. He can does 15 of damage with melee attack, okay? 15 of melee, and he only can do 15 with the bolts, okay? And that's the character design you can see here, okay? So very important, guys, take note of that. Of course, you will have like different ideas for your maps, okay? And now let me read you in the chat. I hope you like this part, and let me give you a skin, and that is going to be almost last code that we are going to have for this class. I hope you like how I design characters, and I hope you can take some ideas. So let me read you in the chat. Okay, I see that you're talking about TikTok for some reason. All right. So, okay guys, so I hope you like the idea about how to create the characters here. All right. So let's do a quick check about how to create another character here, okay? So we already got Thor. Now we are going to design another one that is going to be the keeper, okay? The fielder. The fielder is another character in the game, okay? Okay, where is it? It's at this side. Okay, for this character, I base the story in the goddess Ella. Ella, in the Nordic mythology, was the goddess of the dead, okay? So once more, the role is going to be like supportive balanced, okay? It's going to be the actual player that is not going to be like in the defensive part or in the end of the or in the top of the field. It's going to be in the middle and is to be able to push, okay? It's going to be supportive and pusher. That means pusher in my game means that it's going to make the players like to be trying to defend in itself, okay? It's not very good to enter into the enemy's core, that is the main target, but it's one that is going to help the players to work better. The theme is going to be Ella, that is the goddess of death, okay? So, in the Nordic mythology, Ella could mythology, okay? So in the Nordic mythology, Ella is the goddess of the dead, okay? So it's one of the brothers of a Thor, and is a goddess of death, of course, okay? So as I use this as a color, I choose an art style related with death, okay? So all the skills and all the ideas are going to be related with death. Of course, I'm not going to dig deeper on that one because I already showed you how to create a game style. But what I designed for her is, first, she's a woman. Second, she used okay, I don't know what happened with my character. So let's do an expression because I'm a little bit stressed about my Ultra Instinct skills. So I don't know if you've seen, but I'm Ultra Instinct Yeyo. Right here, I don't know how to take down that. Let me see if right here if I. Okay, no, I think I put on the wrong section. Let's change to survival. Okay, that's much better. Okay, so the colors are very related with that, with cold colors. Once more, I use a specific color for her, and it's the purple. Okay. So on here, I'm going to put the color of purple. And once more on here, we are going to change some things. But what I want to show you is that okay, let's take a little bit. The colors are going to be related with purple, okay? So once more, the particle on the player is going to be a purple color. And the skills are going to be in purple. Once more, also, if I summon a creature, it's going to have purple color in it. The item is going to be purple. And even the creature has a purple color on it, okay? That's why I create that. It's very important. The speed is going to be a normal speed, guys. And the idea is that, and this is a balanced player character, so it's going to be a normal speed, okay? The life is also going to be normal, so it's going to be 100, no more speed. The weapon is a long range one, okay? So that means it's going to hit the other side of the room, okay? Let's check this. As this player has a supportive role, I can actually use that to attack the enemy shelter from a long distance, okay? As you see here. Alright, so check that. Alright, the active skill is going to be Summon Butter, okay? And what is a butter, okay? You've been wondering what is butter, okay? Butter is an guardian spirit in the Nordic mythology, so once more is related with this. It's someone that you reborn, a spirit that you use to defend yourself, related with the goodness of death, and is related with the Viking mythology, okay? The passive skill is Vitality, okay? Once more, is a skill that will allow you to auto-heal if you receive damage, but you have to be, as an example, behind a wall, you haven't received damage, and you are going to start healing yourself. So, once more is the idea to make this player last longer and be able to push the players away, avoid the other players to access to the room, but not literally be a defensive player. It can be on this area, and just by covering, it can control the area. Once more is just something that is related with the role here, okay? The ammo is going to be five snowballs. That means that the player is going to have a balanced area, okay? And the damage is going to be 15, which is going to be low, okay? As you see, it's more balanced player, okay? It's something that your player will enjoy, okay? And then I'm not going to go too much deeper on this one, on the last one, but the last one, in my case, is going to be the striker, okay? Striker role is to enter into the enemy gold, okay? It's the one that is going to score the points, okay? So right now we got a player that defends, a player that goes in the midfield that actually is kind of balanced. The last one is going to be the striker, okay? But the striker doesn't mean that it has more damage, it has more speed. Because once more, the target in my shooter on my shooter is enter into the enemy score, okay? That is in the other side of the map, of course. So the theme for this one I use is Loki. Loki was the god of lies and yeah, it's kind of it's very, you probably already know a lot about this god because Marvel, but Loki originally was a god of lies and it can transform and is something very agile here, okay? So you see there is a lot of art around Loki, not only the one from Marvel. We got a lot of ideas of this one. So for this one, what I did is to create as this is going to be the striker, the faster player, it's going to be a very tiny player. It's not going to be fat, it's not going to be corpulent, and it's going to be a little bit smaller. And also I changed the hair, I put it short hair, so it's going to be very different from the other characters, okay? Another cool detail that I put in it is the one that this one doesn't have horns, it has a couple of wings on the helmet, and the color, as you see once more, is green, so the eyes are going to be green and some clothes are going to be green. So it's going to be very similar to the other characters, okay? So the art style, I already not going to explain that. The speed for this one, it's going to be a total amount of 1.5, okay? So you have 15% more speed, you have less life, as this player main idea is to be fast. It doesn't need to be very fast, so it's the one that has negative life. The weapon is going to be a medium range one, but it's not going to have too much guns. So the weapon on here, it's going to be a short one that is going to be a medium distance. The active skill, once more, the idea of this character is enter into the enemy gold, so the active skill, once more, is in green, check that. And the active skill is to be fast or to pay a jump very fast, so you will be able to enter into the enemy stronghold very easy, like this. Of course, with that you can evade attacks. The idea, once more, is to get in this area to 1. If I enter there, I will win. So it's going to be speed, jump. The passive skill is going to be speed or fast or agility, that is going to give me 15% of extra speed. Once more, this is a character that is meant to enter into the enemy goal. That is going to be attacker, okay, inside the game. And the ammo, this is one that is going to have less ammo, as the main role is to enter into the enemy gold. Of course, it's going to have a gun to shoot and to be able to break some parts of the map, to be able to cross. But the main idea is not the player to be fighting, it's more to evade and try to jump into the enemy defenses to enter here. So it doesn't have too much guns, it only have 2 shots at medium distance. So it's going to be those, but the damage is the one that does more damage, okay? So that's going to be around, if I'm not wrong, this character is going to have 20 of damage. Sorry, is the one that has more damage, but is the one that is worth like trying to fight. Okay, so guys, that's how you design your characters. So I hope the creativity goes on you. I already showed you the different classes. For the next class, I hope or I expect for you to already have the map and have designed or created the idea about your different characters. Of course, we are not going to create the skills yet, or if you want it, you can start doing it. But I want you to have clear all the information about your character. So take a screenshot of it, and you can start filling the information with this about designing your characters, okay? Once more, very important in here is design your own stats. You can use the same I got here, or you can choose any class choosable that the ones that I showed you before, or your own, okay? Every time I time in, very good. Stop playing that demonic game. Hi Joseph, how are you? All right, guys, so that's very important. Okay, I put a wrong name on it this time. All right, so with this, you can start already once more creating the basic ideas of your game. Of course, please, I want to see too much creativity on this one, as we are going to assign different characters. You are going to have something very similar, different to most of the games that you will find in Miniverse. Okay, I have the Ultra Instinct once more. I don't know why. Really cool, huh? Yeyo Ultra Instinct here. What about that? Okay, guys, so now please, hello there, send me your UID back. I want to test your zombie map once more. What do you think about this? All right. So, or let me see, try to pause while I'm running. No, it's not working. Yeah, I cannot do emotes while I'm running here. No, it's not working at all. Okay. All right. So, for the next class, guys, have that ready, have your map ready also, the visual part. As you see, you don't need to overcomplicate, but if you want to put more decoration, it's okay, but at least the playable part needs to be ready. The next class, we are going to start to create these plugins, so we have to get ready that, and also the characters, okay? My best idea is to create at least 3 characters. You can use the same roles that I'm using here, like defender, that is going to be the keeper, a midfielder that is going to be the balanced one, and striker that is going to be the one faster to go into the enemy goal. But that is up to you completely, okay? For now, that is going to be the end of the class. I'm going to give you the last code. It's the code that you are seeing in the screen right here, okay? T-pose Capitan Tom, yeah. Okay. Let's see, English. Okay, let's see that one. Going to check your map. So it's here on creation. And guys, remember that I just put also the code into the chat. Oh, something that I put with is probably with those 2 extra lines, so I will avoid that. So it's World War C. I see that, okay, something happened here. I need to go back and delete some maps. Let's see. Let's close this. And on Create, I will need to delete some maps. And remember, guys, the class is already over. You can leave now. Okay, it's very difficult. I will delete this. Okay, Anaconda. This one is not also very good. Sometimes I just play some of your maps, and it's very hard for me to decide which one I want to delete because I want to keep always the best maps from the minicamps. But sometimes I will have to delete a lot of them to be able to show you. Okay, it's very hard to decide which one. Okay, transformers. All right. So now I have a space. Let me try to test a year map. I know for sure I see that Axel was playing that one and it was very cool. And also I checked before, but for some reason it was like in creative mode, so I wasn't able to play for real. So now I want to test it. Yes, let me know, Davon, where I can help you out with it. Or what is your question? Hello there, I will be able to help you out with it. Let me see here, it's loading. Pause here, let's wait a little bit more. It's almost downloaded. All right, so let me enter to this one. Hi Kenjib, how are you? Oh, I see. So you get attacked by cats. Actually, I have 2 cats. They never attack me, but this is because probably you are kind of afraid of the cats. So when you are afraid of cats, probably you are doing something with your body that makes the cat thinks that you are not friendly. That's most of the times when the okay. Well, I don't know what happened, but once more, this is in creative. Let me check if I can fix this, because I really want to test your map. Let me go back here. Let me go to Creata. Probably I got another version of your map here, yes. So I need to delete the old one to be able to play the new one. Also, I'm going to delete this one because I get a new version, a newer one. And now let's scroll down and enter to World War Z. Let's try to play in multiplayer. Try to join, guys. I know that most of you can't, but let's try. So the UID for hello there is right now it's lag. All right. So let's see here. All right. I cannot move yet. So if you want the players to be able to join on the lobby, I highly advise you to change this. For the other blocks, the ones that are like the ready one, so that will allow you to make the players move, okay? Remember to click the ammo box for ammo, okay? Another thing that you can do, hello there, check on the Minicamp class number for the school simulator number 5 and number 6. There I teach how to increase that number so you can have, as an example, 1000 guns and it's not going to occupy an extra slot. That will help you out to increase your game, okay? Let me see here. Oh. I love zombie games. Okay, there is a box right here. Alright, I got a switcher, and what is this? Oh, I can get a weapon crate here. Very good. So if I use it, I will get a new weapon, right? Okay. Let's get more guns here, just in case, you know, I always expand very quick the guns. Okay, right now I think it's ready. Yes. All right. So I got my 2 guns. I like to have my guns organized here. Alright, and now let's move up. I can use this one. No, I cannot use this one. Okay guys, let's inspect this. Oh wow. Gonna be careful here. In the gold block. Where is the gold block here? Okay. Alright, very good. Wave 1 begins. Okay, so it seems that I will have to fight 2 waves of zombies. Okay. Alright, I'm risking myself too much. Okay. Let's pick up some coins here. Alright, so it's going to be per levels, I think. Next wave is going to be in a little bit. So I have to recover my guns. Very good. You have to show me where you can find that gold ingot that I like. It looks amazing. Okay, yeah, it seems that I will need to have at least more of this one. So now I have to do something else. Hello there. Okay, I see a player has come in here. Oh, I see. So I have to click on the malachite. I haven't read that. Where are the heads of those? Remember, always point to the head. Oh, they are coming from different ways here. Okay. Very good map design. You never get stuck, so that's something that is very useful. Because I have seen a lot of maps, including mine, that when I was designing maps, I wasn't aware too much about this. But you can get stuck, and this is kind of frustrating for the players. Oh, okay, I get stuck here. Okay, Shazena, I think you entered. Okay, I cannot jump until that part. Okay. Very good. Oh, I think I found the book here. Well, not the book, but the tree. I didn't see those coming from the back. It seems that you did something so players cannot access, right? Or exit when you have like a wave working here. Wanna be sure that I'm not going to be without ammo. Okay, so I don't know what happens, but it seems that he cannot access for some reason. Shinigami, go here. Oh, okay. Okay, I forgot about you two guys. Alright, so now you're supposed to be able to enter and access and exit. Oh, I see. So there is like an invisible block here. So Shinigami won't be able to access. Wave 3, big guns. Let's see what is going to take the wave number 3. Oh, they can do. Okay, something that I recommended to make your map even better is to reduce or increase the amount of bullets to recharge, because it's going to feel more relaxed when you don't have to recharge all the time. I know it's not realistic, but it makes the game funner. Because the map is very good, but something that can be improved for the gameplay will be that actually you don't have to recharge all the time. Because you see, I even not able to kill a zombie with a full charge. So that makes the game lose a lot of time recharging. And can make the game feel a little bit frustrating after some time. No, and of course, I'm not saying that your map is bad. Of course, it's very good. It's a very cool map. But that will increase or improve the playability of the game a little bit. Where is the other zombies? Right here. Alright. I don't know if zombies left. Okay. It's very good, but yes, highly advisable that part. Also, I don't know if I can buy something with this. Let me check. Okay, no, it seems that I cannot build or get something with it. On here, probably I will be able to get better weapons. Let me put a weapon crate here. Actually, two. Very important, put the descriptions here so players will know what the weapon is going to do. Let's see here. Okay, let's buy the top. Let's see if I can get a better weapon here. Okay, I don't have enough space. Alright, so also put information about the damage. I don't know how many damage it's doing. But I guess this one is going to be better than this one. And now what I got to do? Okay. Wave 4 begins. Of course, it's going to be a better gun. Let me try with this. You see, that's the only thing that I will change is the part about the recharging part. It takes a lot of time to recharge, so it's sometimes it becomes a little bit of a frustrating situation when you have to not even kill a full zombie and you have to reload. So or another thing that you can do if you don't want like the items to recharge very fast is to reduce the amount of life of the zombies or increase the amount of damage of the guns. That definitely will make your map feels much better. Okay, and also try to do progression levels. So, an example, level 1 zombies are going to have less life, level 2 zombies are going to have twice their life, and level 3 zombies are going to have much more life. So with this, also the player is going to feel the increased level. Alright, I don't know if some zombies left here. Alright, so, oh, I see, now the story is right here. Let's see how the knife works. Alright, seems that the knife is going to be better for me because it's going to take less time to kill the zombies here. Alright, shop. Alright, not what I expected. I want to get more armor or something. To be able to fight together or to get better guns. But I think I got the right one, right? Okay, now I'm full of stock once more. Let's pick up some coins here. And red. Okay, yeah, nice. That's a boss battle. Very good designs of the zombies. I really like their zombies, the models. Alright. I expect not to be able to jump here. And I was right. Remember guys, always point to the head. And zombie gives me... Alright. So now I suppose I will be able to continue, but I don't know where I have to continue. Oh, I see. Now I want to move, but I don't know why. I have to exit from here. Let me No. Okay, this is very important, very good in this part, that you explain the players what they have to do. All right, now I can move in. Oh, all right, very cool. All right. Okay, I see where they have to go. Very good. Let's explore the surroundings. Oh, I like this. Huh. Okay, so the only way to move is moving here. To continue, the Kyanite ore. Okay, I found out how it works. So it's going to be like kind of levels, right? Of course, I think probably I should be able to play with more players, but I will look forward for a different way to block the way. So the players that left that actually are not in game, they will be able to join. Okay, a guide here. I guess I have to build a card. All right, very good, thank you. That's very important to have a guide about what you have to do. But I don't find the Kyanite ore. Okay. Huh. All right. Not sure if I forgot something. Yes. That's correct, guys. Remember that always you need to put... it's not a glitch, it's actually how Miniverse works, and you need to have the render area to be able to create a specific part. So, solutions, guys. Try to always create an area. Remember the Minicamp about the how do you call it? About horror games. In that one, we always have like the game starts, or the game start creating that part whenever the player access to a specific room that it was very close to the exit. So try to do the same. As an example, force the player to access or move to this area, and when the player is in this area, the Kyanite block is going to appear. So with that, all the players, even those that has a low view, as I always play on the low one, are not going to have that book. Or well, it's not a book, it's... Alright, very nice. Because check this. If I move right here, in this corner, and stay away from that enough time, your monster is going to be disappearing. Let me show you. And that's why I always ask you to limit the gameplay area in multipliers to specific points, okay? Let me show you here. I will be here for a little bit. Let's say for some seconds. Like, I don't know, some... Okay, so remember that area is not being rendered, so let's see what happened. Okay. I don't know if I wait enough time, but right now, oh no, the monster hasn't disappeared. Very good. That's very important, guys. When you create a monster, always create it in as an animal to avoid the glitch that the monster is going to disappear if you are not in the right distance. Okay, no, it seems that happens. So those are errors that are common errors. As you see now, the monster has disappeared, and probably a lot of players can be stuck on here. So how do you resolve it? When you edit the monster, and I don't know if I can activate this again. Let me... Okay, no, I cannot activate that again. So the way that you can resolve this is first, be sure that the area, the playable area for your monster fight is 64 blocks. Okay, so the players cannot do what I did. As an example, if they get covered or too far away, the monster can disappear. Okay, and I won't be able to play after this because, as you see, I cannot continue. But very important, guys, check this. If you want that not to happen, what you have to do is, whenever you create a monster here, okay, and this is very important. As an example, I'm going to add this one. If you put here on creature type monster, it can disappear in game. But if you put it in animals, your monster is not going to be disappear, okay? So what you have to do is just to switch here to animals, okay? To be able to resolve that situation. So even if the players do what I did, they will be able to resolve, okay? That's something that some things that I want to teach you. I want to play your game, but I just telling you this because I know that it's a really good game. I really love the idea, and I have seen all the creation part that you do, and it's awesome for me, to be honest. But with this, you will improve even better the map. You are going to have even a better map because, you know, you will have a lot of extra tips that can help you out to resolve that situation. Another cool thing that you can do as an example is if you want your monster to have like some specific basic AI, and this is a trick I'm going to teach you. As an example, you can use this. As an example, let's use gravity, okay? So instead of creating gravity from zero, what you have to do is to go here, edit, hit monster, and you are going to edit any monster that you want to edit. As an example, gravity, okay? You save it, okay? And once you save it, you need to open your folders here, okay? So you need to open your folders, and there is going to be a specific folder that you can find out just by clicking here and putting dash. Check it down below here. Let me hide myself here so you will be able to look it better. Okay, no, it's this one. Okay, so check that right here. I click on the startup menu and I type a score. This is going to be score. No, this is going to be percentage app data or data percentage. Okay, this is if you are in computers. In cell phones, I submit a class about that, and you are going to find a lot of folders. You only need to go to the one that says miniwork 410, then you go to the folder called data, and here you're going to have all your folders. Okay, let me show you any of my folders, because actually you need to look for your map. How do you realize if your map is the right one? Just by clicking here where it says Tom's PNG, you are going to give right click and you can see which image this is. If you cannot see that, what you have to do is to just open here, open with. On here you are going to click on more options, and here you have to select paint, okay? And the first time, okay? And you always use these files with this application. And whenever you do that, you will be able to open very quick that, okay? The Tom's folder, okay? But just look for your map. As an example, I'm looking for that one, okay? Of course, you can rename it. I already got like shortcuts for every of my maps. As soon as I create it, I look for it. So in Boss Tower Pro, that is a very similar map. Imagine that you want to edit the creature that you just created. So you go to your to the folders that are going to be the next ones. You need to access to mods, default map, a map behavior, an actor, and on there you are going to see the file that you just created for your boss. You need to open file by file, but as an example, the one I'm looking for, you can rename the files too, okay? So it's going to be easier. It's being called Centurion number 2. And on here, you will find like the section that says AI, okay? So this is going to be the AI for the monster. As an example, as we copy or we edit the gravity mob AI, you will find it right here, okay? So, and here I also modify one that is Graviton. And you will see or hear all the information. As an example, you got the name. Okay, the name is Wizard Projectile Attack. That will help you to create a monster that attacks from time to time. The projectile ID is the ID of your gun. The attack range is the distance in blocks. This is going to be 15 blocks. The amount of missiles that is going to jump. And on there you can experiment because you are going to see a lot of different features depending of your creature. Okay, in this case we are editing gravity because that's the one that we create here. Okay, but you will have like different mobs on here. Okay, as an example, Wizard Fly will allow you to create any mob that will fly. Okay, Target Nearest is going to allow you to target objects. With this, the monsters are actually going to attack the players. As an example, if you change here, check sign, if you put it to false, the monster is going to attack the player even if the player is hiding behind a wall. And on there you have a lot of options that you can check by yourself. Very important, the only important thing here is that if you got a comma after that specific line, you need to keep the comma, okay? Because check this, on here you don't have a comma, that's very important. In the end of the lines, before this parenthesis, you almost never got a comma. And also you can edit some things here, like you can add those tags to have more features, like have an armor, or you can have more tools. As an example, you on here can have like I don't know, speed, about not only the limits on the game, you can break the game limits. You can put speed like this and it's going to be very fast. Okay, so that's a trick I want to show you, so you will be able to increase the power of your mobs. And that will be it, guys. So for now, guys, the class is already over and I'm already going to end the streaming too. I hope those extra tips works. If you want me to review your maps and give you some tips about how you can improve your maps, remember at the end of the minicamp we always review some maps, okay? An email is sorry for that. All right, so I see that Gunman is telling me to accept the request. Please give me your UID. What happens is that I usually receive a lot of requests per month or per week even, so it's very hard for me sometimes to know what request I can accept. Okay, so just give me a second. Let me try to open friends here. It's not allowing me to do it. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, as you see, I got a lot of requests here. So just give me your yes, I will, but let's do something. Try to resolve those things so I will be able to play it better, and I will play it until the end and next classes, okay? But just let me know, inform me when you got that part resolved, so it's going to be more easier for me to be able to play, okay? Okay, yeah, this is very difficult. Okay. I know that he's a player Spanish. I think Mio is from the class. Phoenix White, Juan Manuel. Okay. Yeah, please give me your UID to be able to send you the request, gamers, Goodman Gamers. Because as you see, I got a lot of requests, so I don't know which one I'm going to use. Oh, this is Sammy. And Jared. Of course, if I remember a specific one, I will be able to add you, but probably sometimes I will have too much people, so yes, your UID. So I won't be able to add you. Exotic Andres is not playing anymore, so I'm going to delete it. Blank, I think is not, I haven't seen Blank in a long time. Facundo, yeah, I haven't seen Sasha in a long time. Creel, Judy, I haven't seen Judy in a long time also. Jaren is not playing anymore. No name, I don't know who's that person. Firecrack. Okay, I remember. Jiggles, yes. Hamsy is not playing anymore. No, Camps is playing. Max Bryan, Mew. Panda, Rodrigo, Ray Zero, Rainier. I think Rainier is not playing anymore. Sagittario is not. Victor didn't. Zombie 7, Damon Duende Rojo is not playing anymore. So let's see if now I will be able to accept the request. Alright. Okay, who else is here? I see Sammy around here. Where it's Sammy. Okay, I found your invitation now. Sammy. Okay, I think I already accepted. So that will be it for now, guys. Thank you so much for playing with me and assisting to the classes. Remember, next week's, guys, I expect you to have that. Oh, I forgot I have a medical appointment in 2 hours, so I have to be quickly. Sorry for that. Well, guys, see you next class. Remember, end the map scenario, complete it, and also create the first characters, at least the ideas. I need you to have the ideas and the visual part, so you will be able to continue the class with me. For now, that will be it. Thank you so much for playing, and remember, these lessons are going to be all Fridays and Saturdays, same time, except on the 23rd and the 24th. We are not going to have classes those days. Instead of that, we are going to have the classes 2 days before, okay? So the last class is going to be on the 22nd and